Karantz, I need to talk to you. I have to ask you for another favor.
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mine shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the Lions because they hate them as much as we do, my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals. She was deeply attached to our traditions.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand these Renagse better than I do. Will you investigate this matter with me?
Of course. Let's go.
Hello, my child. What a pleasure to see someone come to us with such eagerness. Do you want to hear the word of Saint Matthias and come into the light?
Not really, Father. My name is Desardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. What can we do for you?
What exactly do you hope to do in this village?
Well, bring light to these naive souls, of course. When we spread the word of Saint Matthias, I'm sure they will embrace our faith with fervor.
Anything else, my child?
We would like to know more about the agreement you supposedly sealed with Bladnid.
I do not see how our agreement concerns the congregation. But since you are asking us, we swore to provide this village with all our support in their fight against the Alliance.
In exchange, its inhabitants will have to renounce their pagan cult and turn towards the light.
My mother would never have made such an agreement. She's the one who encouraged me to become a Donegad.
The Queen had understood that the light was the only true path, even if she was attached to traditions. It is for this reason that we have accepted to seal our agreement according to your own rituals.
She had an engraver come to Val Ristel. He carved your strange symbols in the stone.
I do not believe a single word of this. You, the people of the light, are nothing but liars.
You would do well to hold your tongue, young lady. This village is now under our spiritual authority.
By not respecting us, you are committing blasphemy. And blasphemy is a crime that we punish severely.
Because you think that you can administer justice here. I am the daughter of Bladnid, and you are...
Siora, let's not get into another battle and make new enemies. Let's go find this stone.
That is an excellent idea. Then you will see that we are telling the truth.
Here's the stone we were looking for. It is destroyed. We can no longer decipher the symbols. Strange, isn't it?
This stone was damaged on purpose. We will never know the precise terms of the agreement.
There may be a way. Promises in stone are a very ancient tradition. Those who want to make these agreements must turn to a keeper of promises. An artisan who makes the stones speak. There are but a few. We did not have one in our village before Karadek's arrival. He must be the one who engraved this stone.
I thought you could not write.
The Donegada have a secret writing that the keepers of promises always learn. Those who want to seal a promise tell them to write, and they take care of it. It looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Everything is broken and turned upside down. Empty. A sculpted engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight. Everything is scattered around.
This workshop was purposely devastated.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a few things and destroying the rest.
Unless someone else did this. We must find Karadeg.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg Nodas, Dunkas' clan. Do you remember him? Karadeg originally belonged to this clan. He may have returned.
Let's go to Vigigador, and we'll find out.
What brings you here, Ono Manawi?
I seek Vinbar, your High King. I was told you were among the last to have seen him.
I do not know if that is true. Others most certainly crossed his path after me. But since you have helped our island, it is only right that I help you in return. The last time I saw him, we were in Dorhat Genedu. He wanted us to help him decide what we should do about you. You, the Renaigse. Dedra and Bladnid wanted us to spill blood and chase you from our lands. Ulan's words were all honey, as is his talent, and wanted us to welcome you with open arms. I attempted, as is my wont, to follow the path of wisdom, that which winds between the others. Vinbar was not convinced by any of us. He decided to turn to a far greater source of wisdom. He left us to go to the sanctuary to see Enonmil Frictimen.
Would he still be there?
I do not think so. The Great Mind must have guided his footsteps in a direction beyond our understanding. But he would not have abandoned his people without first seeing his own one last time. You should go to Wen Shavar. Maybe there they would know where you could find him.
Thank you, Dunkas.
What brings you here, Onomana?
We're looking for Karadeg, the Keeper of Promises.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left. We could not take him back.
Did you exile him? Why?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with our stance on the Renaigse. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. This is why he joined the Gaesrad. And I did not want him to return if it meant that he would bring his hatred with him.
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something, and he wanted to hide. He must have left for the woods, south of here. He knows the area well. Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkas.
Qua awalum seg.
Look at all the... Qua walemsek.
It is Karadeg. He's over there.
Siora, Bertir Tumad Donegat. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, we offer them those words.
So you're a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. The Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life, and because of them, I am forced to hide here.
I understand your fear. Take some time to think. We'll come back later to see you.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
We found Karadeg. You were right. He was hiding in the woods.
I know him well. Like I know everyone in my clan.
His life is in danger. Some priests from Thélème are searching for him and they won't leave him in peace.
So they are the ones he fears.
Dunkas, you cannot let him fall into these priests' hands. He is one of us.
I know, but my role as a chief is to preserve the peace in this village. Being chased by the Renaigse probably only stirred up his anger. I do not wish to take the risk of him bringing it here.
Dunkas, could you not accept him in your clan again? In the name of our friendship?
You are a Karants, and your friendship is precious to us. For you, I agree to make this effort. I only hope that Karadeg will contain his hate and open himself to our point of view. The help you are giving him might show him that the Renaigse are not all the same. Is there anything else?
I must leave.
Qua awalum.
Renaigse, you have returned.
We would like to talk once more about the glyphs on this stone.
I told you that I did not want to hear about this promise any longer.
You wanted to go back to your original clan, didn't you? You were hoping that Dunkas would welcome you. He is prepared to do so. He simply hopes that you will put aside the anger that is inside you.
When I left, I thought Dunkas was too soft, too nice with the Renaigse. I was hoping to fight them with Bladnid. But in the end, she also chose to negotiate with them. So, I might as well go back home. Thank you for convincing him to take me back. Here, take this piece of tree bark. I hope that it will help you to chase these Renaigse away, Donegad. And I did not think I would say this one day. But thank you, Renaigse.
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions, and they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Isilde. Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We went to Falristel to see the stone.
Were you able to read it, Siora? No, because it was destroyed by someone. I am certain that the priests did it to protect their lies. You're probably right, but for as long as we cannot prove it...
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here. And even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied. They mocked us, and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
By lying, you have insulted the memory of the Queen. The entire village will be happy to make you pay for your affront if they hear about it. You do well to leave before having to face their wrath.
We are not here to shed blood.
Very well, we're leaving. But we will not forget your role in this matter, Your Excellency.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Siora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asi.
Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here, and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to know what happened to them.
I'm not a doctor, but I may be able to examine him.
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated. We've done our best, but our magic has proved inefficient. And the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too late from San Mateus.
This man is burning up with fever and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows.
The flesh is black and blue around the bites. He was bitten by a venomous creature. What he needs is an antidote.
Have you tried giving him any anti-poison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them.
Why, of course. The savages are always to blame. The man was in the swamp. There are some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible. A healer from the area will know the antidote.
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
Onol Manawi, you've come back to see old Lair. I heard that you managed to retrieve the tablets.
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace, knowing that our brothers are alive, and that they will be able to join another clan. And you proved me right. Peace with the Renaigse is possible.
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegad is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well. She will know.
Thank you. I will go see her. I hope she agrees to help us. I have to go.
Like so many others.
Here you are again. What do you want?
What can you tell me about Lair, your former leader?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. Everything he did to save the village. But I think the Mind Shakers made him forget what we are. He almost speaks like them now.
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants. I used to want to become a Donegad.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote should be given to him?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like children. You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan. So, I will give you the potion to cure the priest. Wait a moment. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwal.
Where am I?
You are in Eden. You're safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition, they are in danger. The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it. Some of our people have disappeared.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help when we were attacked. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who are at the camp, you must go help them.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please, hurry.
Thank you. You should rest now. I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
Look, this is a passage that was forced upon nature by men. The beasts must have become restless. They do not appreciate it when their living space is disturbed.
All I did...
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrived right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matthias?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information, but you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother Virgil.
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both before you can make a decision.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. There was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We have been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages may very well have been following us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well? I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And, in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the excavation site. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are ruthless.
Karans, could you help me once more?
What is it?
I must prepare the ritual for our mother's funeral, and I think that I will need your help.
But your sister will be there. Surely you'd rather be together.
For the ritual, yes, it will only be the two of us. But before that, your support would be a great help. Will you come with me?
Of course. I'd be happy to be by your side. Let's go. This man's skull is sunken, but he doesn't look like he was in a fight. Could he have fallen?
If that were the case, there would be other marks of impact on his body. No. He was struck with an object to the back of the head. Given the shape of the wound, it was inflicted with a metal mace.
This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace. And it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death. This poor soul was almost entirely devoured. He must have been killed by swamp animals.
Indeed, he was devoured. But he was already dead. There is a mark here, on the bones, that could only have resulted from the strike of a cutting weapon.
You're right. He was stabbed before being fed to the animals. But anyone could have used such a blade.
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he had died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it's impossible to know who was wielding it. The cause of death is no mystery. This man was attacked by one of those large reptiles, a Llewellyn. And yet, these iridescent marks on his skin make me think that a stasis spell was cast on him first. He was intentionally immobilized so that he would fall prey to this animal. It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This virgin, he wants to push aside this woman at all cost. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to be looking for our colleagues?
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people have no need to hide when they protect their land. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to disguise a death.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is righteous. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this expedition, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence on this island. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy, a dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of the natives? But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries as truth, without any hesitation, without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it. So yes, I wanted to scare her.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as far as assassinating several of your colleagues...
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the congregation? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. You may have already done so. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince Eugenia to go back to Eden. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people for these crimes. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer for his treachery.
It seems to me that all members of this expedition are concerned. They should decide on what to do next. Everybody listen. Alas, I must inform you that I have found the dead bodies of your missing colleagues.
How awful. What happened to them?
Someone wanted us to believe that they were killed by some swamp animals, but it was all staged. Your colleagues were murdered, and their bodies abandoned to the creatures.
What? But why do such a thing? And who murdered them?
Brother Virgil confessed to his crimes in front of me.
Monster! You will pay for these crimes. These people you killed were our brothers. Our friends.
You stupid goose. You really believe that I will let you pass judgment on me? You shouldn't have been so quick to accept these lies that could destroy our nation. And want to reveal them for all to hear. You are solely responsible for these deaths.
How dare you present yourself as the protector of our nation? Murderer!
I'm sorry, sister. Brother Virgil fled during the battle.
The coward. And naturally, his accomplices fled along with him. What a waste. So many people died.
Perhaps I shouldn't have revealed his crimes in front of everyone. But I thought it was the best way of ensuring he would be judged.
Considering how high tensions have been these last few days, a fight was inevitable, alas. But you did what you thought was fair. Here, take this. As a token of gratitude for shedding light on these dismal events. Alas, we will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matthias's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in the swamp. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well equipped to go there.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us where to look.
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote this. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Look for any traces of life. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings. That would be fantastic.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover anything.
the Dara Grimadarum Dam. Dara Grimadarum Dam.
If their so-called saint lived around here, he must have looked for a sheltered area.
Watch out, another. Found the Dara Grimadarum Dam. Look at this cave. It is a good place for an old man to settle.
Indeed, there are some traces of life here. But we will have to here.
Found the Dara Grimadarum.
I can't do that.
This is a cave of knowledge, or at least it looks like one. The old man must have been exceptional to be able to live in such a place.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest getting his face painted by a masked native. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias. Praying to Enon Miel Frictimen. I don't know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
I cannot believe it. These symbols, they are signs used in the secret writing of the Donegada.
Looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago. And it undeniably comes from the continent.
I seem to recall that their saint is often described as using a similar object.
Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. There are some native symbols here, and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Menduis dat, Enon Miel Frictimen.
It means, welcome us amongst your people, Enon Miel Frictimen.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him.
So that's what it was. The priest's old sage became a Donegad. I don't think that they'll be happy about that. And yet, it could bring peace. The Solasser will no longer be able to burn our people and our guardians.
Why is he not depicted wearing the marks of the Donegada?
It was a very long time ago. Magic had not yet been given to us by Enon Miel Frictimen.
I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Thélème.
The great revelation that will change mentalities for good, or the preservation of the dogma at all costs? I think you already know which side I'm leaning towards.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matthias.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On the other, he prayed to a god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the Islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look, there are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet? I cannot believe it. It is so... Excuse me. I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil? How did you know?
I'm afraid that Your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation. But since you refuse to comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics!
So?
We discovered it most...
And have you found...
There were also... He was shown...
You...
That is what... Look.
This chap... You...
And you... I see.
It seems we out of love, but since you...
Death to the...
I cannot believe that I just fought my own brothers in faith. The fact that the Inquisition is after us is very disturbing, Excellency.
We would do well to hasten to San Mateus. They will not dare to attack you there. Even if these men were the last forces that the Inquisition could send us.
You are right. All this proves is that I will not succeed without your help. There is a risk that the Mother Cardinal will also reject our discoveries.
I suppose I could use what I learned about her to persuade her. And I could bring Petrus with me. He will surely find the words to convince her.
That would be most helpful. Father Petrus is renowned for his eloquence. In any case, we must present our research to Mother Cardinal as soon as possible. I will study the tablets one last time to make sure I know all their content, and I will meet you at the palace in San Mateus to plead our case.
Understood. See you soon, Sister Eugenia. Be careful.
Karans, do you...
How did you know that those missionaries were lying? After all, given the situation, your mother could have wanted to form an alliance.
I knew my mother well. We were close. She would never have renounced her beliefs to forge an alliance.
I understand. However, couldn't she have renounced it in the hope of protecting her daughters?
Perhaps. But she knew us just as well as we knew her. And she knew that we'd rather die in battle than renounce our beliefs. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're talking about physical differences, they're linked to the fact that Iseld is not on Olmenawi. When we were little, we were perfectly identical. But our tempers were always different.
I have no trouble believing it. And I'm glad that out of the two sisters, it's the gentler one who is by my side now.
Gentler? Really? The lion soldier on the battlefield would not have agreed. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Karans, do you need something?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I must leave you.
Ah, Your Excellency. We were eagerly awaiting your arrival. Sister Eugenia was just recounting me the tale of your achievements and telling me about the incredible discoveries you've made.
These relics shed a new light on the last years of our founder. It all demonstrates that he hadn't evangelized the islanders, but, on the contrary, he would even have adopted some of their rituals, merging the cult of the enlightened and the cult of nature in a single dogma.
These discoveries, if they can be verified, are extraordinary. But they also represent a great upheaval that could harm our nation. We must first verify their authenticity. You are the only ones who entered this cave. Could what you have witnessed been a falsification?
The entrance to the cave was protected by one of those giant creatures that the natives call a Nardaig. These guardians usually protect sacred places and let no one enter without a fight. I had to kill this beast, which leads me to think that nobody had entered the cave for a very long time. The cavern we discovered is located in a very remote place. There is no islander village nearby. It contains some ruined dwellings, but clearly no one has lived there for a very long time. Fraudsters would inevitably have left traces of their passage, and we have not found any. We discovered ancient frescoes on the walls of the cave. They represent Saint Matthias without a doubt. He is depicted with his chaplet. In one, he is praying for the divinity of the island. In the other, his face was being painted by a native. I understand how shocking these discoveries are, but their antiquity proves that they are genuine.
The tablets found at the site, however, attest that our founder had not abandoned the cult of the enlightened. He simply saw it as two different reflections of the same divine power.
The relics could be authentic, Your Excellency, but we only have your word to convince us. The political and religious impact of these discoveries will be unprecedented. We risk schism, civil war, and who is to say that this is not a plan to weaken us?
If I wanted to weaken you personally, I could have used many other means, Your Eminence, as you probably remember.
Indeed.
I would also like to inform you that a member of the Ordo Luminous was part of the expedition. He tried several times to sabotage it, even killing many of his colleagues for it, and finally attacked us as we were preparing to join San Matthias.
You'd have thought that the remaining members of the Order would go to such extremes. But I fear these attacks are just a reflection of what will happen if your discoveries are made public.
Your Eminence, we are faced with a crucial choice for our nation. What does a man of faith do in such a dilemma? He prays and places his trust in the one who came before him and has shown more wisdom. Saint Matthias shows us a new way. If we are believers, can we really turn our backs on him?
You surprise me, Petrus. You who are always so political. Yet your words seem sincere. You give me something to think about. Thank you.
If my people knew that the great sage they had long respected is the same man as your saint, and that your priests respected our culture as he did, they would be welcomed here as brothers.
And the Eden we wanted to build would be everywhere. You speak sense, Princess. Does anyone wish to add anything?
I understand your doubts about the future that will inevitably be caused by such a revelation. You hesitate just as St. Lucius did to tell us about the journey of his master. Yet he revealed what he knew, and his words still guide Thélème today.
Thank you for your testimony. I will now retire to think about everything and make my decision. After careful consideration, I have decided that it is my duty to reveal your discoveries to the world. It will take years for our theologians to study all of this, but our dogma must follow the path opened by Saint Matthias.
Thank you, Your Eminence. I would be delighted to help with the study of these relics.
I don't doubt it, my dear. And I would like you to take me to see this cave. I look forward to worshipping at the place where our holy founder ended his days. As for you, Your Excellency, I thank you for the help you have given us. Your sincere insight has encouraged me to make this difficult decision.
It was my pleasure.
Let me also thank you, Your Excellency. Without you, we would still be in the shadows.
Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
I'm only here to accompany Siora.
I came to give our mother back to the earth, Iseld. It is high time we did, I know. Performing the ritual might help me feel less empty. Iseld, I miss her too. Did you go to Vasrigan? No. Preparing the place is the role of the Donegada. I was afraid I would not do things properly.
protect me in this battle!
We are approaching Vasrigan. This is where I will perform the ritual. This burial mound has been the final resting place of our queens for generations. It must be prepared before we can start the ritual.
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle! Our enemies!
Something's wrong. Normally, you would hear the birds singing in this place.
What do you mean?
And yet everything seems normal.
Shadow engulf our enemies!
Area. You never see any around here. They must have nested in the shadow of the burial mound.
In that case, we have no choice but to destroy their nests. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back.
You are right. We cannot let these carnivores roam so close to my mother's remains.
May the Enlightened protect me! protect me in this battle!
These beasts will no longer trouble the peace of our queen. All we have to do now is to take care of the ceremony.
Is there anything else to prepare?
Of course. We will need some sensors crafted especially for the ritual.
Where can we find them?
It would be ideal if we could craft them ourselves, but otherwise the village artisan probably sells them. And I will also need some mortuary lotion. I will have to coat my mother's body with it before giving her back to the earth. I will give you a list of all the ingredients because we will have to prepare it ourselves. The merchants won't sell it. Once we have gathered these last items, then Isolde and I will be able to perform the ritual. I thank you for being by my side and helping me the way you are. It means a lot to me.
Don't mention it, Siora.
We have all that we need. Let's go back to the burial mound to put everything in place. Here we are. It is on this stone altar that we will place the body of my mother. We must place a censer where her head will be, and another near her feet. And then you will have done everything you could to help me. And I am infinitely grateful for it. Your presence by my side means a lot to me. But only my sister and I can participate in the ceremony. This is how our ritual of the dead is performed. Do you understand? There. Everything is in place. Thanks again, Honor Manawi. My sister should be joining me soon. You should wait outside. Oh, these rituals are demanding. But they help us to say goodbye to those we love. You have been a true friend. A Karans, accepting to help me the way you did. Thank you. I will never forget the kindness you displayed. Conforming to our customs and staying by my side.
It's only natural, Siora. I know what it feels like to lose someone who is dear to you.
We should go now. It is time to return to the living. Karans, do you need something?
What do you intend to do now? Will you become the Dunegad of your clan again?
I will most likely do it, but not now. I still have a lot to discover by your side.
I'm very glad to be able to enjoy your presence a while longer.
Thank you for your kindness, Honor Manawi. I am also happy to be with you too. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.